My name is Philip Ferranti. I lived in the Coachella Valley for over 70 years. Most of the time I've been known to be a hiking guide and an author of all the best-selling hiking books. And being a guide, I've taken out literally thousands of people hiking. And it's important that my vision is good because that is the way I enjoy nature. I'm also a photographer. So again, it's important that I be able to see clearly what I'm photographing. But a number of years ago, about 3, I started to notice that my vision was being degraded. Things were not as bright, they weren't as crisp, they weren't as clear. The color was muted. And I just thought it was aging. But several months ago, I went to an optometrist, and after a thorough exam, he identified my need for cataract surgery. Now, up to that time, I really didn't even know what cataracts were. But after being explained to me what they were, what they did, and what cataract surgery would do for me, he referred me to Dr. Keith Tokuhara at Desert Vision. I made an appointment, and over the last 5 weeks, I've had both of my eyes done. First the left, then the right. I was a little apprehensive about surgery on my eyes, but I have to say, that surgery was the easiest, painless, most absolutely perfect choreographed medical procedure you could ever imagine. 15 minutes, and the surgery is done. No pain, no discomfort. The people involved were as professional as you could ever imagine. They educated you as to what they were doing and what it meant, so that you had knowledge of the procedure. Once I got home, I thought, well, I wonder how long it's going to take for all this to kick in. And I noticed right away that in my kitchen, that for several years I thought the lighting was very poor. I had fluorescent lights. I noticed that the kitchen was as bright as a sunburst. And then I realized it wasn't the fluorescent lights, it was my eyesight that was the problem. And I noticed that when I went outside, everything was crystal clear. Crystal clear. Color was deep and vibrant. It was like I was 20 years old again. I went on my first hike after that, and the first thing I noticed was I could see things that I hadn't been able to see for years. Everything was like I was wearing binoculars. So crisp, so clean, so bright. And even I noticed that when I was photographing and put my photographs on my computer in folders, the photographs looked better than they ever had. Not because I was doing better photography, but because I could see them.
What was your impression of Dr. Tokuhara in Desert Vision Center?
Well, I like the way he dresses in suits. He's a happy person. I've been to doctor's offices where it looks like they're on a lifelong IRS audit. And I can't say that Dr. Tokuhara strikes me as that. He's a happy warrior in what he does. He's also got probably the best bedside manner, or as good as I've ever seen for a doctor. So, you just can't sing his praises loud enough.
And what impressed you the most about the surgery? Maybe the process, anything that you...
Well, it was very thorough in terms of being explained to me. It was very organized. Totally painless. There's no pain, no discomfort. And with the anesthesia, I was actually able to hear the doctor go through the whole procedure and to actually see a little of it. I was also impressed with the cost. It was not nearly as expensive as I thought it was. Of course, I have Medicare and supplemental, and that paid for almost everything. But it's not like it's a deal breaker. So I just want to give a really thankful a recommendation to Dr. Keith Tokuhara in Desert Vision. They're the absolute best medical professionals I've ever worked with. And if anyone is anticipating, eye surgery, if they're not sure of what their problems are as far as their eye vision, I would highly recommend getting a good exam. And if it comes up that you need cataract surgery, Dr. Keith Tokuhara is the best.